Welcome to Night Cosmos. Before we begin tonight's journey, take a deep breath and allow your thoughts to drift beyond the boundaries of what you know. If you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel and join us each night under the stars. Now, close your eyes and let your imagination open. Tonight's story takes us to a time before time. A question that lives at the edge of human understanding. What was there before the universe began? Before the Big Bang, before time itself, before matter or space. In this vast emptiness, there were no stars, no galaxies, no laws of physics, and yet something, maybe everything. Scientists often say that time and space were born together in the Big Bang. If that's true, then there was no before in any way we can understand. But what does that really mean? Can we even picture a moment where time doesn't exist? Or is the very idea beyond us? As you relax deeper into the night, let's travel together into the mystery where silence reigned and reality had not yet opened its eyes. The concept of before time challenges every instinct we have. Our lives are woven into time's flow. We measure, track, and rely on it. Yet, when we peer into the origin of the universe, we find a strange idea that time itself had a beginning. Scientists suggest that before the Big Bang, time did not exist in the way we understand it. There was no ticking clock, no passing moment. Instead, what might have existed was a singularity, a state of infinite density and temperature. But even the word was becomes meaningless here because before implies time, and time itself had not yet begun. Some thinkers imagine this state as a timeless quantum field, a realm of pure potential waiting to unfold. It's like a cosmic stillness so complete it contains the power to create everything. A universe without stars or light, only the silent promise of becoming. In that quiet, beyond space and time, the seeds of all galaxies, atoms, and thoughts may have already been waiting to bloom. In quantum physics, the vacuum is not truly empty. Even in what appears to be nothing, there is movement, energy, and fluctuation. These quantum fluctuations, tiny and spontaneous, might have existed even before time itself emerged. Imagine a pre-universe that was neither something nor nothing, but a mysterious sea of probabilities, endless possibilities flickering in and out of potential. From this strange foundation, reality may have sparked. Some physicists propose that the entire universe emerged from one such fluctuation, a moment when quantum uncertainty gave birth to space, matter, and time. If so, then the universe wasn't created from nothing, but from a hidden order beyond time's grasp, a cosmic breath that we can't hear, a rhythm without a beat. These ideas stretch our imagination, but they also invite awe. In this framework, time didn't begin with a bang, but with a whisper. A subtle shift in the quantum stillness that changed everything. Cosmologists speak of the Planck epoch, the earliest known phase of our universe, existing within the first tiny fraction of a second after the Big Bang. Before that, the laws of physics as we know them break down. We can't describe what came before, not because we lack imagination, but because the rules of our reality didn't apply. It's as if the stage hadn't yet been built for the play of existence to begin. This is where theories become dreams. Some imagine a multiverse with countless other universes bubbling into existence beyond our own, each with different laws, different times, and different forms of being. If that's true, then our universe could be just one verse in a much larger song, one note struck from the silent symphony of existence. And before time began in our universe, perhaps another version of time was ending elsewhere. It's a cosmic loop, an eternal cycle of creation and dissolution, like waves on an infinite ocean. The ancient myths and religions of the world also try to describe what came before the beginning. In many traditions, creation rises from chaos, darkness, or a great cosmic sea. These images, poetic and symbolic, hint at a timeless origin, something beyond ordinary understanding. In Hindu cosmology, the universe is born from a cosmic dream. In Egyptian mythology, it emerges from the waters of none. While these are not scientific explanations, they echo a deep human intuition that before everything, there was something that wasn't nothing, something mysterious, silent, vast. This intuition may come from the part of us that senses beauty in the unknown. Perhaps we've always felt that the universe must be more than just chance, that even time, with all its weight, was born from something greater. And as we lie under the stars, that sense of timelessness, of being connected to something ancient and unknowable, returns to us in the quiet moments of wonder. Let's pause and reflect. Imagine floating in a realm where time has no meaning. No seconds pass, no moments slip away. There is no beginning or end, no motion or stillness, because those are concepts built on time's flow. You exist, but not as you understand existence now. You are part of something pure, unmeasured, infinite in stillness. This space is not cold or warm, it simply is. Some call it void, others call it origin. It is the cosmic breath before the first heartbeat, the silence before the first note of music. In this place, there is no memory, no future, no waiting, only a deep presence filled with potential. From this presence, everything we know will emerge. Time, space, stars, gravity, light, thought. It's like standing before a canvas not yet touched by paint, yet already full of vision. The pre-time universe is not empty, it's possibility waiting to become form. The idea of before time also invites us to think differently about ourselves. If time did not always exist, then our lives, which are so deeply tied to time, are built on something that once was not. What does that mean for memory, for dreams, for hope? Perhaps these things are more than just responses to the ticking of clocks. Maybe they are echoes of something older, something that remembers what it was like to be outside time. This could explain the strange moments when time seems to vanish, watching the stars, dreaming, or drifting to sleep. In those moments, we touch a part of existence that is deeper than any calendar. It's not science or poetry, it's experience. And that experience may be our oldest inheritance, a whisper from before time began, a gift from the origin of everything, carried in our consciousness like stardust. Some theoretical models suggest that the universe did not begin at all, but simply transitions between different phases. In these models, the universe expands and contracts endlessly, like a heartbeat. Time exists in loops, and there is no true beginning, only cycles. If this is true, then the idea of before time is just one part of a much larger rhythm. The Big Bang might have been just one beat in a long cosmic pulse, preceded by another universe that collapsed in on itself. This is called the cyclic or ikpyrotic universe model. It's poetic and profound. In such a view, time has always existed, not as a line, but as a circle. Each universe gives birth to the next, and before time in one reality was the echo of time in another. This invites us to see creation not as a single explosion, but as a gentle and endless breathing, where reality is always becoming, always renewing. To understand what might have existed before time, we often turn to mathematics. In the absence of physical evidence, numbers become our lanterns in the dark. Some models describe the universe as emerging from a timeless quantum state, where probability fields rather than particles define existence. These mathematical forms don't require time. They are static, elegant, and complete. The equations sit outside the flow of moments, describing potential realities as patterns rather than events. From this realm, time could have unfolded like a melody from a silent chord. Just as music exists within the structure of silence and sound, time may have emerged from the contrast of stillness and change. The universe didn't explode into being, it resonated into existence. And somewhere within that original structure, perhaps encoded in mathematical harmony, was the rhythm that would become time. An unfolding sequence that still echoes today in the orbit of planets, the pulse of galaxies, and the rise and fall of your breath. Some physicists believe that time is not fundamental, but emergent. This means that time might arise from more basic, timeless ingredients. In this view, reality begins not with time, but with relationships. Interactions between things that don't need a clock to exist, like geometry without movement or light without distance. These relationships could give birth to time as a kind of illusion, a useful way for conscious beings to make sense of change. Before time, there was only pure relation, a web of connections with no beginning or end. And from this network, our universe may have formed, time flowing from the unfolding complexity. It's as if the more the universe interacted with itself, the more it needed time to organize its dance. And from this emergence came everything we know: movement, direction, memory. But in the beginning, there was only still connection, like stars waiting to be lit, like words before speech. In the silence before time, there were no stars to guide you, no moon to mark the night, no heartbeat of a universe in motion. It was a cosmic stillness so complete that even the idea of stillness did not exist. No up or down, no left or right, no now or then, just a presence, a potential. Some thinkers call this presence the vacuum state. Others call it the quantum foam. Whatever name we give it, it was the birthplace of everything. Not through violence, but through transformation. From this quiet sea of potential, the first symmetry broke, and from that broken symmetry, the universe unfolded. It's a beautiful idea that everything we are came not from noise, but from silence. Not from something, but from a change in nothing. And that change was not an event in time, it was the birth of time itself, flowing gently like water from an unseen spring. Let your mind drift through this thought. If time began with the universe, then there has never been a moment outside of it. That means the entire history of time, from the first instant to this very breath, is contained within the universe itself. The night sky above you is not just filled with stars, it is filled with time. Light from distant galaxies travels across billions of years to reach your eyes. When you gaze into the dark, you are looking back into moments long gone. Yet before even the first of those stars was born, there was a moment when nothing had yet begun to move. That moment is unreachable, unmeasurable, but it is not meaningless. It is the sacred pause before the first heartbeat of creation. In that pause lies every potential future, every word, every thought. And when we feel that pause inside us, we become part of something greater than time. The moment before time began is like the moment before you fall asleep. There is stillness, but also expectation. No dream has yet begun, but you are already drifting. The universe, too, may have existed in such a state, a cosmic half-dream where the boundaries between nothing and everything blurred. Some theories suggest that this state was governed not by physical forces, but by information, that reality began as pure information, and time emerged as a way to process it. From entropy to order, from code to cosmos, the unfolding of time might simply be the universe computing itself into existence. If this is true, then the first moment of time was not a bang, but a bit, a single unit of information shifting state. And from that shift came evolution, stars, life, memory. So when you close your eyes tonight, imagine that your thoughts too echo a process older than time itself. Imagine now that you're drifting in a sea without beginning. The stars have not yet been born. There is no sky, no darkness, no light. There is only awareness. Not your own, but something vast, a quiet knowing that does not need time to exist. In this realm, nothing is separate, nothing is defined. It is the ocean before waves, the silence before music. Slowly, this awareness begins to divide, not through force, but through intent. It unfolds itself into patterns, and from those patterns, space appears. Then time, then light. This is not a story of explosions, but of realization. The universe realized itself, and we are part of that realization. In every moment we live, a thread connects us back to that first knowing. It is hidden beneath our words, our movements, our dreams, and in the quiet of night, when everything slows down, we can feel that thread again, gently pulling us toward the source. There is a strange comfort in thinking that time itself had a beginning. It means that every moment we live is part of a story that started with nothing but potential. Before time, there was no past to remember, no future to anticipate, just the still breath of something waiting to become. That origin is not lost, it is inside everything. Each atom, each thought, each star still carries the imprint of that first, and perhaps in the quiet of deep space, far from the pulse of stars and the gravity of planets, the echo of that beginning still lingers, a soft hum beneath reality, a silent truth that nothing is truly separate, that everything comes from the same place beyond time. When we lie beneath the stars and let go of clocks, we begin to feel it, not as a memory, but as a resonance. a connection to the timeless space before all things. In the realm before time, even the laws of physics may not have existed. There were no constants, no equations, no light to define speed, no space to hold distance, just pure potential. From this potential, the universe had to decide what kind of reality it would be. Some theories suggest that many realities may have tried to form, and ours was the one that succeeded. A reality where time could flow, where matter could take shape, and where beings like us could one day ask what came before. It's not that others failed, but that we emerged in this particular form of order. Before that emergence, the silence held all possibilities. Time that flowed backward, time that stood still, even realities with no time at all. But the one that bloomed was this universe with its expanding stars and drifting galaxies. And in every breath, we are still part of that choice, still unfolding from the first spark. Let's return once more to the beginning. Not the Big Bang itself, but the moment just before. It's not a moment in time because time had not yet begun, but something shifted, a symmetry broke. That single shift gave rise to everything. Imagine a surface so smooth and perfect, it had no features, only potential. Then a ripple, not in space, but in the very structure of possibility. That ripple became expansion. That expansion became space. And from space, time was born like a shadow cast by motion. In that motion was gravity, and with gravity came stars. Each step forward was not planned, but inevitable once the first change occurred. And that first change lives on in all things. In every orbit, every memory, every story told. We are not separate from the origin, we are its continuation. And when we dream of beginnings, we are dreaming of ourselves, remembering the place we all came from. When we imagine nothingness, we often think of darkness, emptiness, silence. But the nothing that came before time was different. It wasn't cold or quiet. It wasn't anything. It was not the absence of something, but the absence of absence. No space to be empty, no silence to be broken, no edge to mark a boundary. From this paradox, everything came into being, not as a spark in the dark, but as structure arising from the unseen. And when time began, it didn't roar into existence. It unfolded softly, like the first breath after sleep. This gentle beginning is still with us, hiding in the way time slows when we are in awe, or stretches when we love. We are time's children, but also its witnesses. The great silence before time is not gone. It exists in the still places of our minds, in the pause between thoughts, in the peace before sleep. And it waits patiently, always near. Even now, as we explore the cosmos, we are searching for the beginning. Telescopes reach back in time, capturing light that has traveled for billions of years. We map the microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang, hoping to catch a glimpse of the first breath of creation. But no matter how far we look, there is always a veil, a horizon beyond which we cannot see. That veil is the boundary of time itself. On the other side is not more space, but the absence of space. Not more history, but the absence of history. And yet we feel drawn to it, as if something in us remembers. Not consciously, but in the quiet way that we feel at home when we look at the stars. That yearning is not for knowledge alone. It is for return, a return to the place before places, to the moment before moments, to the timeless sea, from which all waves rise. Philosophers have long asked if the universe had to begin. Could it have always existed in some form? Could time be just a layer on something deeper, something eternal? These questions are not just abstract, they affect how we understand ourselves. If there was a before, then we are part of a journey that had a starting point. If there wasn't, then we are expressions of something infinite. Either way, we are not accidents. We are connected to the structure of the cosmos, not just by stardust, but by story. A story that begins before time and continues through every breath we take. And maybe when we dream, we return to that place. The mind forgets the shape of clocks, the stars blur, the boundaries fade. And in that space, something ancient whispers, not in words, but in feeling, a soft reminder that the universe is not only around us, it is within us. And it began with silence. In the hush of deep space, we sometimes hear the echo of our own beginning, not in sound, but in silence, not in events, but in presence. The moment before, time was not a place or a thing, It was a possibility waiting to unfold, and when it did, it carried us with it. We are time's unfolding, spaces bloom, the awakening of awareness inside the infinite. Long before planets formed, before stars ignited, before galaxies spun like dancers in the void, the essence of everything we are already existed in potential. And that potential has never gone away. It surrounds us, fills us, reminds us with every beat of time that we came from something more, something timeless. When you close your eyes and breathe deeply beneath the stars, you return not backwards in time, but sideways into the space that has no clock. And there, the universe before time is not a mystery, it is home. Thank you for joining us on this quiet journey beyond time. Before we part, take a moment to feel the stillness around you, the soft rhythm of your breath, the gentle hum beneath your thoughts. These are echoes of something older than time. If you enjoyed this exploration, please consider subscribing to Night Cosmos. Together, we'll continue to drift through the mysteries of the universe, wrapped in the comfort of cosmic wonder. Each episode brings us closer to understanding not just what lies beyond the stars, but what lies within ourselves. So as you lay down tonight, remember, you are made from the silence before time, from the same presence that gave birth to light. You are part of the story that never ends, because it began before beginnings. Sleep peacefully now, dream deeply, and let the universe whisper to you from the place where time has no meaning. Good night from Night Cosmos.